All right, welcome to fourth grade reading. This is lesson 167. Take out your vocab list 8. We're going to say these words. And don't forget that it's dose, not do. Whatever I wrote, take the middle E out. Okay. All right. Defect, something that is not perfect. Defect. Disgraceful, bringing shame or disapproval. Disgraceful. Dose, a specific amount of medicine to be taken. Dose. Hoard, to hide away money or goods, often for selfish reasons. Hoard. Immune, protected from getting a certain disease. Immune. Optical, visual, not having to do with sight. Optical. Preliminary, coming before an event. Preliminary. Prestige, a high level of honor among others. Prestige. Vaccinate, to give medicine to protect against a disease. Vaccinate. Vast, a very large in size or area. Vast. All right. Today we're going to be picking up the story of Louis Pasteur, Dr. Pasteur, on page 361. You guys were supposed to read through that page, but it doesn't end on a sentence, so I'm not sure if you went and finished the sentence on the next page or if you just left off that last paragraph. We didn't exactly talk about that. So I will pick up at the bottom with the paragraph. If you, for some reason, didn't get all the way through the page, go back and read that before you continue, but you can listen as we get started. So this is the battle with death. And then we're going to be reading to page 369. So we're going to read this little short story, something really important. And so I'm going to give you the introduction to that right now, and then I'll start you off on the reading. Many people think about the Salvation Army when they hear bells at Christmas time. William Booth founded the Salvation Army over 100 years ago to help the poor people in London and to give them the gospel. His daughter Evangeline often worked with him to feed and clothe the poor. In today's story, Evangeline remembers a valuable lesson she learned as a young girl. Okay, so you're going to get to read about that. All right. He found that by letting this tissue stand for a few days, it became weak. When a dog received this weak nerve tissue, it became sick. Yes, but not so sick that it died. The dog got well. And after that, even if injected with the strongest nerve tissue, the dog did not develop rabies. Its body had built up strength against the disease. The dog was immune. The scientists knew that persons bitten by rabid dogs do not show signs of illness until nearly a month later. If resistance could be built up in these people before they showed signs of the disease, perhaps they might not sicken at all. He looked up a course of treatment. It would take 14 days. On the first day, a dose of very weak 14-day-old nerve tissue was to be given to a person who had been bitten. This was followed on the second day by a 13-day-old dose, and so on until on the last day, strong virus was to be given. During this time, the person's body would be building up resistance. Finally, the victim would have so much resistance that he could not get sick. Dr. Pasteur had found his cure for rabies, or he thought he had. It had been successful with dogs. Would it work as well on a human being? Perhaps it would harm rather than help a person who had been bitten. Okay, so you're going to read 363. You're going to read to the end of that story and then read something really important. The introduction to that is in after the one on the page. In the 1800s, God gave a preacher named William Booth a burden for the very poorest people of England. Booth organized a Salvation Army in the slums of London to win people to Christ. He also showed Christian love by distributing food and clothing to these extremely needy people. William Booth's daughter Evangeline worked with him from the time she was a child. She became an outstanding musician, speaker, and writer. She was commander of the Salvation Army in the United States for 30 years, and in 1934 was elected to head up the entire worldwide ministry. Despite her talents and importance, Evangeline Booth never forgot a lesson she learned as a girl. And that's what you're going to read. You're not finishing the story. Sorry. You are reading to 369, so you're starting the story, and then we'll finish the story on Friday. And read the very last. So tomorrow you have your last adventures and adventures in Adventure in Other Lands quiz. And then Thursday you have you're reading your vocab quiz. So before I let you go, I'm gonna quiz you on these words. So I'm gonna give you the definition, you give the word. So what we would normally do on the Thursday, I'm doing it today since I'm giving you on Thursday and I don't have a video tomorrow. And then Friday we'll finish the book. So, all right, so what is coming before an event? What means coming before an event? Preliminary. What means bringing shame or disapproval? Bringing shame or disapproval? Disgraceful, good. Protected from getting a certain disease is what? Immune, very good. Vast, large in size or area. Very large, I gave the answer. Very large in size or area is vast, I'm sorry. We'll come back to that one. To hide away money or goods, often for selfish reasons, is what? To hoard. Something that is not perfect is what? A defect, defect. A specific amount of medicine to be taken is what? A dose, dose. Visual, having to do with sight. Optical, optical. A high level of honor among others is prestige, prestige. Very large in size or area. Vast. And to give medicine to protect against a disease is what? Vaccinate, all right, very good. So when you finish reading to the end of 369, just stop right at the end of the next to last paragraph, poor children, and we'll pick up at Mr. Booth tomorrow, or on Friday, okay? All right. I'll let you go, do your reading, and don't forget to study your vocab words for Thursday.